with the Sioux on FSN North.
With just 10 games remaining on the regular season schedule, the Golden Gophers are on the outside looking in. Both home ice and the NCAAs are within reach, but wins are a must.
Everything you say to me says the one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe, 'cause I'm one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break.
No better place to start than the intense rivalry with North Dakota. The stretch run starts next on FSN North. After 5 straight road games and only 1 win, the Minnesota Golden Gophers return to Minneapolis with their arms wide open. But when the puck drops here in a few minutes, the time for hugging will be over. They meet a bitter rival, the University of North Dakota, currently the number 3 team in the nation. Just 2 weeks, just about 2 months ago, that is, Minnesota traveled to Grand Forks for a series split up there, but North Dakota is now riding a 7-game winning streak, and they moved up to number 2 in the WCHA standings, while the Golden Gophers in 6th place are within striking distance of both Minnesota, Duluth, and Wisconsin, who meet this weekend in Madison. Hi again, everyone. Along with Doug Woog, I'm Frank Mazzacco, and a rabid crowd here ready to welcome home the Golden Gophers. Doug, Minnesota, however, on home ice is only 1 game above 500.
Yeah, but it's about the same when they're not at home. So where are you going to play the games, Frank?
Well, if they go on the road, which is where they will be going next, the going will not get any easier. This is a very tough schedule for Minnesota. Next weekend they'll face off, or this weekend they face off, of course, against North Dakota, number 6 in the pairwise. Next week is when they go to Denver, the Pioneers 3rd in the pairwise. And then after a week off, back against the Wisconsin Badgers, and everyone knows that won't be easy. But Don Lucia says the 3rd P will be the key. Still, he's hopeful.
If you can win games against quality opponents, that really helps. But we know it's going to be very difficult. I think our guys have, we can just continue to play like we've played, I think we'll be okay. It's just been a struggle. I mean, we're going to, every game we play, it's somebody's going to win or lose in the 3rd period. That's just kind of the way it's gone, and for us to try to find a way to get to 3. I mean, to look at the past couple weekends, we've scored 3 goals each weekend. Well, obviously 3 goals this weekend won't be enough.
Generally isn't and generally hasn't been. They go against the University of North Dakota, and this team, yes, has been, they were picked to finish number 1 in the country, but as it turns out, they needed to creep up in the standings. And how have they done it? Well, they've done it as one of the hottest teams in the nation right now with a 7-game winning streak. They've only allowed 10 goals in those 7 games, and their leaders, no surprise, TJ Oshie with 11 points in his last 8 games. And the Hobie Baker winner from last year, Ryan Duncan, with 11 points in his last 9 games. A formidable opponent. These numbers are staggering. Yes, they are the most penalized team, or among the most, but they also have one of the best penalty kills, and they do it both offensively and defensively, Doug.
Yeah, he starts in goal with Lamoureux. He's been so good, so solid. His 50 straight games he started. Just an amazing thing. I thought that might be their Achilles. It's not been. He's been so sound. And they're getting scoring from different people. Coach Hextall told me yesterday that it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. A different guy is doing it every night. Of course, the big guys in a big series like this will be the guys they're looking at to make it.
And the goaltenders, of course. Philippe Lamoureux, a proven goaltender for the University of North Dakota. And Minnesota will go for the 3rd straight time with Alex Kangas in goal. Not proven yet, but he only has 1 loss in his last 9 games. Face off in a moment. It is always good to play the Fighting Sioux, particularly when you can play them 4 times in a year. They are currently ranked number 3. The Golden Gophers, after a split in Wisconsin, moved up to number 15. They are now ranked, and here is our McDonald's game plan.
Well, the sure recipe for McDonald's for the Gophers to win is get in front of Lamoureux. Got to show some traffic there. Minnesota has to score on the power play. In North Dakota, you better behave if you're going to expect to win.
And a Northland Ford starting goaltenders, Philippe Lamoureux. They have been riding this horse for a long time. He is in his senior year. They'll have to replace him next year. But right now, he is too hot to take out. Alex Kangas will be in goal for the Golden Gophers. 1 game over 500, but as we told you a couple moments ago, only 1 loss in his last 9. And he wants to grab the reins of this one. And this will be meeting number 270. The Fighting Sioux have won 3 straight at Mariucci Arena. Don Adam, our referee, drops the puck. We're underway. Golden Gophers, we told you, also picked up a split in North Dakota in the second week of December, but by most accounts dominated at least 5.5 periods out of that weekend. Here's Stu Bickle now playing it up on the far side. The pass comes back across the other way.
Little interesting lines here. Two checking lines against each other. The big lines are sitting down first shift.
And nobody will score. Now the puck out of the zone, back in. Here's some of the headlines that we'll be watching for you tonight. Of course, that 7-game win streak, which dates back to the 5th of January. Very crucial points in the standings and in the pairwise at a very crucial time of the year. And, of course, your text questions will be answered. Some of them, the best of them, and we'll do our best.
Two top lines going head-to-head here. Oshie's line, Wheeler's line.
Oshie dropping it back. Now they go across. Here's Taylor Chorney. Chorney bringing it ahead. He's one of 3 juniors on defense. This is a junior-laden team and a junior-laden lineup on the ice tonight. Wheeler, they tried to bump him off the puck, but it didn't work. Ryan Duncan threw the check. Now Oshie back in after a loose puck. Oshie, he gets bumped there by Jay Barabal. And Dave Fisher shovels it around. Ben Gordon waiting for it. He's cracked pretty in the corner by Andrew Kozak. Kozak, the third member of this line with Oshie and Duncan. Here's Wheeler after a loose puck, 2-on-3. Pulls up in the corner, and then it was knocked away from him by one of their better Freshens, Matt Fratton. Wheeler, shallow angle, and fired all the way across the goal mouth. Kevin Weir's shooting. That's right on, and the glove stopped by Lamoureux. Here's the Minnesota lines.
Well, we just saw Gordon, Wheeler, and Barabal. Wheeler getting a good chance there. Lucia, Carmen, and Flynn started the game. That's the checking line, but they'll score too. Hopeful, White, and Howe. That's kind of be a group that's got to break even. Cole, Kaufman, and Boostrom. Anything extra will be helpful.
Face-off won by Patrick White. Here's Kevin Weirs. White, Howe, and Hopeful, Minnesota's line out there right now. And while this is a third line, eventually they will be Hopeful, and Hopeful and company will get some points for them. A swing and a miss on a shot, then a centering pass nearly deflected in. Brad Malone, the freshman, number 22, is going after it again. Got jammed up there and almost got a gift.
This is an all-freshman line. Malone, Trupp, and Fratton. All youngsters.
And back out at center ice, there is Zach Jones over to get it. Jones, a product of the National Team Development Program. Evan Kaufman weaving his way in, then Lamoureux right there to cover up. And that third line, Doug, is the one you were talking about. Brad Malone, Trupp, and Fratton, all Frosch.
And let's go down one more. Radke, Zajac, you recognize those names. Martins, and Watkins, Van Velde, and Kuip. I think it's the second line. Kozak, Oshie, and Duncan, the Hobie Baker winner. That would be the number 1 line.
Evan Kaufman wins this face-off cleanly, and it's back to Stu Bickle, but there's an interference penalty. Will it be a Minnesota interference on the face-off? Looks like they're going to chase Justin Boostrom.
Oh, these people, this is a tough one. You're going to, because everybody interferes on the face-offs. Nobody goes without picking somebody, because when you get the puck back, you can't let your player go get him. So that's, watch this here. There's 24. Wow, there's the pick right there. Boostrom, but that was a good call. That was interference. But years back, they never call that play.
Well, and do you blame Boostrom for going after the guy?
No, that's his job.
Yeah.
You know, the fact is he's got to get there a little bit earlier, but he doesn't know where the puck's going to be, so that's a tough. He's executing a play the coach has put in. He just got to be a little more clever.
So the first power play of this game goes to the Fighting Sioux. Here's Taylor Chorney with the puck. Chorney throwing it into the corner just out of the reach of Duncan. Van de Velde. Now Oshie reaching for it. Oshie looked like he nearly cradled it in. Now way back at the line for a long shot and a redirection by Van de Velde, but it won't work. Back at the blue line once again. Fired towards the net by Robbie Bina. And Bina will turn to go back after it.
Nice play by Cade Fairchild. Went in the corner, picked up the loose puck. Instead of just throwing it, he pushed it up the middle. Found a Minnesota player who deflected it down the other end.
Gopher penalty killers have been pretty good this year. They flip it in. The power play flips it in. Lucia reaching for it, swatted ahead. Kaufman breakaway. Boy, they're closing in a hurry. Kaufman backhand goal! Short-handed! Puck luck there, you bet. Inside the pipe and in for a 1-0 lead.
Well, he looked pretty quick. It didn't look like he was even bumping his legs. Lucia got the puck out. He got help from Fishy, who nudged it up. Then Lucia bounced it off the rail, and Kaufman, who's been a steady Eddie all year long. There it is here. Well, Lucia looked like he had alligator arms, but he pulled him back. Genoway, who's pretty quick, comes after and just sneaks it in the corner. Like you said, Frank, a little puck lucky, but Minnesota's got a lot saved up. They should have a lot of chances where they're going to get some luck tonight.
Yeah, I think they got a lot of counts in the bank there, and there's Evan Kaufman. He breaks a scoreless drought of about 6 games. And it couldn't have come at a better time, a short-handed goal, and we haven't had many of those this year either.
I'm not so sure that the power play isn't going to be overcome by the short-handed goals here before the year's out.
Well, Minnesota has just scored its 5th power play goal. They do have 15, but the ratio is a lot closer than it's ever been. All right, still just over a half minute of the Booster penalty and another short-handed rush. Wheeler, Hoefel down the middle. Oh! It's a brilliant save.
Terrific pass by Wheeler. He put it between the stick and the skates.
Van de Velde bringing it in, but it's offside at the line. The goal scorer, the senior Evan Kaufman, talks about how crucial these points are in these coming weeks.
These points are definitely crucial to have, and you know, hopefully we can pick up our play a little bit and try to get some of these points. And if we don't, you know, there's no better way to do it than at the end of the year going on a little win streak. So you know, we're going to concentrate on trying to get points and hopefully put ourselves in a great position. But you know, if not, we're going to have to really turn up the battle level and try to get in there the hard way.
I'm going to find some good news, Frank, on that breakaway, that pass. Wheeler got the Hopeful hit the net. Got a half a chance when you hit the net. Okay, he was driving the net. That was terrific entertainment for the Minnesota hockey fans, who's a lot of them are late because of the traffic jam. Wrestling tournament or the wrestling game going on over there, meet with Iowa. Be about 8,000 there.
Boostrom out of the box, potential breakaway. They couldn't get it to him. Now Mike Howe lays it ahead for defenseman R.J. Anderson. And then it is knocked away at the last second and back out to center ice, and Andrew Kozak. Well, not only did Minnesota get 2 short-handed shots on goal, but they held the Fighting Sioux to 0 shots in that power play. Puck in the air, batted away. Here's Trupp to dump it in the Minnesota end. Kangas leaves it behind the net. Mike Howe out to center. Hopeful brings it in, dances and shoots. He's got quick feet in that long shot. Now Wares to the line. Backhand by Fairchild and a glove catch by Lamoureux. He is holding on. The Golden Gophers on a goal by Evan Kaufman, his 5th of the year. Nearly made it 2-0 with another shorty. Our Toyota Key stat shows you a great winning combination for North Dakota. They are first in the WCHA in goals per game at about 3.25, and first in the league also in goals against at 2. A splendid differential of 1.25 or 1.28.
As good as that is, that's down for the leader, probably about a half a goal. Most of the time, the leading team is in the 3.85, 3.9, something like that. Even though it's number 1, it's still a half goal down from the typical leader in this league.
Lucia and Fisher, the 2 assists on the Kaufman goal.
Donnie Adam got hit there. The boys didn't appreciate that. Didn't get out of the way. He being the referee.
C.J. Berlin, Brad Shepard are the 2 assistant refs. And Zach Jones goes back forward in his own end. Kept in at the point by Fairchild, and now they'll regroup. Well, Minnesota has had a propensity to have good starts in their games. And they have another great start here with that shorthanded goal. Here's a long one deflected in by Oshie, and then a little shot by Bickle to knock over. Very concentrating there and holding on.
Benny Gordon threw one away in the his first shift or second shift. There he tipped it right out to the defenseman. You got to take care of that puck, young boy.
Here's our wacky stat of the night. Minnesota has trailed in only 327 minutes of a total 1,709 minutes this season. That is roughly 20% time trailing, and yet they're struggling 1 game above 500. In other words, what that translates to is third period problems. As the Gophers touch it, the second penalty of the game will be called. Both of them have been against Minnesota.
Now this one's going to go against Duncan, I think, for tripping, Gordon as he pulled out of the pack. Right out of the pack. Here it is right here. Leading horse, trying to get out there in front of the rest of the herd. Duncan reaches in and picks him. See now.
Penalty against North Dakota. They are averaging 19 minutes per game, third most in the nation. Their penalty kill number, 10th in the nation, but high up, about third in the WCHA. It's a pretty good penalty kill. And a sarcastic person would argue that they've had plenty of opportunity to practice.
Frank,
but no one up here would say that.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't. But we were talking this afternoon, getting ready for this game, and you were mentioning that a lot of these minutes came in the rhubarb. They had the big to-do with Wisconsin, which is true, but they've earned a generous share elsewhere.
Exactly. That was very early on in the season. Second power play of the game, this one to Minnesota. And there's Lamoureux covering up.
I tell you what I liked about it, that thing took off. As soon as he got it, Hovell shot that puck. He shot it down again. Then he went for the rebound. He got some resistance, but he was strong. Watch this. Nice play by Wheels. He throws it right in the slot. Boom. Kind of rolled on him. Now watch Hovell go for the rebound. Nobody can move him. Those little defensemen. I would say Finley's small. He's bigger than, I think, he told me yesterday, I said he was bigger than a Christmas tree. My Christmas tree. And I said, I don't remember saying that, but he's a big dude, 6'7". Skates on 7-footer.
Cade Fairchild from behind the net. Evan Kaufman to the line, slips around one, fires it towards the middle, but Oshie was back to help out. He got around Vandevelde first, and then Oshie was right back there. See Oshie give Vandevelde a tap on the rump to get up high in the slot. Fairchild shooting, that one hit Taylor Chorney.
Oh.
And now Oshie is taken down. There'll be a penalty on Mike Carmen for holding.
Carmen, what are you complaining about? Argue when you have a position. Absolutely no question that this is a penalty. Shot from the point gets blocked, gets bounced out to the front. Yeah, you're grabbing him. You know, might have been a little, yeah, no, there's absolutely no question. If you don't call that, you won't have any penalties in the game.
You'd have mayhem a little bit later on. You'd have some mayhem.
Now we get 4-4 situation, which is not a good situation for the Gophers. They have not been very good all year. A little more offense than the defense.
Well, let's see how much offense they carry on, because they've been carrying almost all of the offense in this game, even shorthanded. They have a 5-1 edge in shots on goal. As Doug mentioned, we're even strength here, and Wheeler just bowled right over his man, Joe Finley. Big man, and he just put him right down nearly to the seat of his pants. Genoway bringing it in. Genoway fired it across. A long blast and a goal, Joe Finley.
I tell you what, he never got that thing any more than 6 inches off the ice. He found the corner, and Big Joe, not knowing it for his offense, comes through with a big play. His third goal of the year. There's Genoway here, curls up, slides it over. Now watch his shot, keeps her down. I tell you, he got all of that thing. It may even got tipped, but it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. He got a lot of juice on that shot, penetrated the power zone. Oh, I think it just went in the left corner.
Yeah, it looked like Fairchild was trying to get out of the way. That may have been a part of the screen. Finley, his third.
But there you do.
And the fourth of his career.
And what's you got to give North Dakota credit. You got the guy in front of the net for a screen. Genoway pulled up short, made the pass across the point.
Now they're about to get their second power play of the game. In a couple of seconds, Carmen will be out, as you see at the top left of your screen, with penalty time. And now Derek Peltier gets it into the North Dakota end. And here's Taylor Chorney over to get it for the Fighting Sioux, and a head out to center ice. Ryland Kipe brings it in. Down the middle for Bina. He goes across, and that shot from Vandevelde hits the outside of the net.
Bina should have taken that shot himself. He was point blank. But you can see how they activate their defensemen. The North Dakota Sioux, their defensemen, Chorney, Bina, and Genoway are the 4th, 5th, and 6th leading point getters on this club.
Here's Oshie to bring it in. Oshie to the corner with Dave Fisher. Now a check by Anderson. Oshie and Duncan behind the net for the moment. Duncan after it in the right wing corner. Bina at the right point. 20 on the power play. Chorney to Oshie. And he is forced outside. Bickle in, or by Boostrom inch by inch. Now Bina. Oshie has to tee it up. Wrist shot. Rising. Misses. And here's Duncan over to get it. Back to the line for Bina. Chorney. Bina. A blast by Duncan on the far side, and the penalty to Carmen is over. The penalty killers do the job again. Chorney having to dance away from Boostrom at center. Boostrom doing everything but drawing a penalty, and this long shot comes down off the glass. 2 power plays now for the Fighting Sioux in this game. Substantial number of minutes as well. No shots on goal.
They picked up the one they needed on the 4-on-4. They haven't been able to do much 5-on-4.
Icing here as we approach the halfway point of period 1. A 1-1 game. The last one goes to Joe Finley, the defenseman from Edina. Doug, you were talking about their offense from their defense. Take a look at the defenseman scoring in the WCHA with Robbie Bina, Taylor Chorney up at the top there, tied Jack Killen from Colorado College, and Jay Genoway with 17 points. 3 of the top 4 in the conference.
It just struck me, you know, that you had 3 forwards, then all of a sudden you had 3 defensemen the next 3.
And Doug, I know you've been a lifelong resident here. You know, sometimes those of us who have moved away from families sometimes miss our families. Kind of missing points from defensemen I am right now. Kind of miss seeing them.
Yeah, okay.
They're just not plentiful enough. Can't wait for next Christmas. Here's Finley to shoot, and it goes wide.
Well, it's the offense is down in the league. There's absolutely no question about it. And some of it's a lot of young defense. Some of it's
oh, what a sweet move by Barabal. Sorry, Doug.
No, that's fine. That was worthy.
I enjoyed that one too much.
That's okay.
Barabal at the side of the net, but Lamoureux paddles it away from him.
This is a different defense, though. I mean, when you take Bina, Genoway, and Chorney, they're not real big. Chorney's 6 foot, but those other 2 guys are 5'8", 5'9". That's not North Dakota size D.
Off a couple of skates and into the corner once more. There's Brad Malone.
He's the other freshman. He's been hurt, Frank, a little bit, so he's a little behind Trupp and Franton.
Brad Malone from Miramichi, New Brunswick. Of all the Canadian towns, I never heard of that one, but. And Genoway back to get it in his own end, and he is turned aside by Evan Kaufman. Kaufman gives chase on the far side. Here's Tom Pohl to get it. Pohl from center ice will flip it in. And Lamoureux leaves it for Finley. Kaufman in on the forecheck. And Finley does a little dance to get some room. Genoway has no one to pass it to. His left winger was all the way at the Minnesota line. That was stretched out a little too much, I'd say. Watkins back in his own end. Matt Watkins gave it away to Mike Howe. Howe takes it away at the line. Beautiful pass to Hopewell. He's shot high and wide.
Yeah, he'd have had that one if he'd have hit the net. It was by the goaltender.
Well, he told us in our pregame that high glove side might be the spot to go. Well, he got half of it right. He was high stick side.
Yeah, and it was a little bit too high or a little bit too wide. We saw it in Wisconsin. All the shots, not enough saves by the goaltender with that many shots.
Genoway ices that one. Mike Hopewell has had a couple of great chances, one shorthanded in this one.
The Sioux and the Gophers tied at 1. Some of the sounds from the bench here. Coach Hackstall and his coaching staff not happy with the intensity of North Dakota early, but now that they've got their flow going, they want 2 forecheckers, hard guys. They want a lot of pucks on Alex Kangas. They want to shoot and they want to crash. That's their game. And so far, the Gophers really haven't allowed that. Only 2 shots on goal for North Dakota. That's the good news. The bad news, one's gone in.
All right. Kevin, thanks very much. Here's Ryan Duncan with a takeaway from Kate Fairchild. A wraparound centering pass, and there'll be a Minnesota penalty. Some coverage perhaps necessary that brought Andrew Kozak down will lead to Minnesota's penalty.
Andrew Kozak from another Sycamus, British Columbia. That's another mouthful, Frank.
3rd Minnesota penalty coming up here.
Play is Duncan's behind the net. Oshie's come in. Chia's coming from behind knocks him off his skates. And that's a legitimate call.
So they'll have Van de Velde out for the face-off. And the power play unit moves Oshie to a wing here, and Duncan also up on this line as forwards.
Van de Velde was the center for those two guys, Duncan and Oshie, back December 8th when they were in North Dakota and Grand Forks. They've since moved Oshie to the middle, which is obviously helps Duncan because you see the puck a little bit more. Oshie's better in the middle. He's active. He moves. Pretty good player.
Beanan nearly banked one off of Lamoureux's skates and into the net.
Yeah, that would have been
nice.
Yeah.
If you're a Gopher fan, of course. We're assuming most of you guys are.
Well, I was warned that we're going over the waves in North Dakota. We better be fair, Frank. So
always, Doug. You and I right down the middle. Right down the middle.
that middle line gets moved. It's windy, though.
Well, up in the plains there, everything gets blown by the wind. Here's Kaufman back behind the net. And a long pass to center, just out of the reach of Hofel.
Boy, Hofel's making a lot of noise for half a period.
He alone is raising the speed limit. Now a steal as he has Finley knotted up. And now he'll go back to a spattering of applause.
Yeah, fans excited about the individual effort.
Kozak with a near catch trying to split the Minnesota D. A minute to go on the penalty to Lucia. And to the corner again. And that's where Fratton is jammed up, and it comes loose to Kaufman. They put it out of the zone, and they're offside as they bring it back in. I think Mike Hofel likes to play against the Fighting Sioux. We'll take you back to that second weekend of December, the Ralph Engelstad Arena. 2-goal weekend for Mike Hofel, and a couple of dandies, too.
Oh, he roofed a couple, and yes, here I am, folks. And he's a fun guy, isn't he? He's a fun guy to interview. His hair's all over the place, but he's honest and he's straightforward, humble, and he's a pretty good player. 6 goals, 6 assists. Could have had more tonight.
Just the kind of guy you want to have in a dressing room, Doug, to keep things loose at the appropriate moment. And if you can't be upbeat when Mike Hofel's around, you may never be upbeat.
You're a grumpy old bugger.
Here's Van de Velde back to Duncan. This is the most uninspiring power play that we've seen now for the third time tonight. Oshie moved to the net and he lost the puck. Chorney across, and here's Bina. Chorney threw a screen and hit a body. I think it hit Fairchild, and he gets rid of it. And again, they go without a shot on goal in the power play.
Fairchild took that screen. He took the puck right away, put his body in position, got the body first, and then followed with the stick to ice it down the rink.
5.5 minutes to go, first period. Tony Lucia out of the box and over to the bench. Now in deep, here's Kyle Radke. Radke, one of 4 seniors in the lineup, only 2 senior forwards. Here's Jones pushing one to the side. He might have been looking for a tip-in. And a North Dakota player got upended. He is slow in getting up. That's Radke, came up looking for a penalty. Don Adams says play on.
Well, he's had a couple ticky-tacky calls he's had to make, Adams, so I think he made good decision there. Let that one go.
Anderson put it in front of the net, then it's taken away. Out to center ice, Malone 3-on-2 to the Minnesota line. Drop pass, now back to Malone, putting it right in front for Zajac. That's intercepted and swept away by Gordon. Ahead to Barabal to bring it in. Gordon down the middle. And the centering pass was deflected by Finley. Peltier at the line, could not keep it in. This is Kaufman. Dumps it in, Minnesota making a change. Boosterman on a forecheck. Finley, long outlet pass. Misfires, that'll allow Peltier time to get there and shut things down. Pretty good crunch in the corner on Matt Fratton. And the loose puck to Kaufman. Kaufman got it as far as the line, not out. Fratton brings it out of the zone inadvertently. Then it leaves the rink. Folks, if you'd like to be part of our broadcast, text us a question or comment now at 612-860-GOF. That's 4674. Doug, Kevin, Marty, myself, we'll pick the best qualified to answer your question. And likely, I nominate Kevin Gord. No offense, Marty, but we want KG to do as much work as possible tonight. Kevin Gord in the box between the benches, directly across the rink from where Mike Brophy normally sits in the scorer's table. Brophy convalescing at home. Mike, we hope you have you back in that scorer's table very soon. Mike Carmen from behind the net. Only 2 shots on goal for North Dakota, and I bet you those were a long while ago.
And that's with 3 power plays.
Yeah.
And 1 4-on-4. But I tell you, last weekend, Frank, in the second game against Anchorage, it was like 13 shots on goal, 3 went in. That's all they had. They were, gosh, awful. Flat. Anchorage just had everything going, except they couldn't score. 33 shots the Anchorage Seawolves got to 13.
Yeah. Well, until they hit this streak of 7 games, 7 consecutive wins, their typical pattern was a split every weekend.
Yeah, they did for like 6 straight weekends.
They'd either win on Friday or win on Saturday, depending on whether it was a conference game or a non-conference game. It was a very unusual streak of splitting, but they were very consistent about it. Here's Gordon trying to muscle Oshie off the puck, and he does.
Good body position by Gordon. He took the body first, then he moved the stick in. That's the right order. Body first and follow with your stick.
Pardon me for sounding so quite surprised,
well,
but it's not been a typical Minnesota trait this year.
Engineered beautifully.
Charlie from Chan Hansen with our first text question. Doug, what aspect of the game do the Gophers have to focus on? You're only going to pick one to beat Fighting Sioux.
I think you're going to pick one. You got to finish checks because you got a few small defensemen there. And I do believe that you've got to be alert. You got to be able to close down quickly, and then don't release. The other part of that is when you take a man, stay with him so people don't give and go.
To put some numbers to what Doug has just said, they only have 2 defensemen who are at 6 feet or better. Chorney is 6 feet. Finley is 6'7". Everybody else, Bina, Genoway, Mardo, and Jones, are at 5'11" or 5'8".
Yeah, and Mardo's played like 14 games, got 2 points. Zach Jones doesn't have a point in 24 games, so they're not going to hurt you offensively, and they're not necessarily great big defensemen. So that's where I think you got to attack them, and you got to finish and stay with it.
Doug, we have just passed a streak of 10 consecutive minutes. We're at about 10 minutes and 30 seconds now since the last North Dakota shot on goal, and that was the goal. That was their goal of this period. And that was their last shot. Here's how to go after it.
They look like they're a little bit lost in the big rink. Obviously, they shouldn't be. They're playing a lot of it. Either that or maybe Gorgie has it. The coaches are upset. Hextall and Eads with the lack of intensity that North Dakota is showing.
You know, typically the third period is their the first period is their most dominating. They're a plus 22 in goal differential in the first period.
And they're not
34 and 8 against.
Yeah.
And that's an incredible bit of domination in the first period. They're not answering the bell here tonight. Here's Fisher through the defenseman's legs, or the blocker out front, Martins. Bina gets it. And for a large part of these last 5 minutes, they've been spectating. Standing around watching, and now out to center ice. Nice hip check by Peltier. And he took Matt Watkins out of the play. Bounces into Fighting Sioux territory, and Lamoureux has to protect it. And then a little exception there. Well, Carmen, I think, just undressed a couple of defensemen to get back to the goaltender and the puck before the Fighting Sioux players did. And there'll be at least one penalty you can hear from the reaction here.
And one of the boos is going to be Don Lucia. He does not want to play 4-on-4 tonight. He wants 5-on-5. Get it out of the special teams.
All right, here's our poll question for tonight before we go to the intermission. Who is your favorite to win the WCHA race? This is the, if you want to vote for Colorado College, send us an A. Denver currently in third place, send us a B. North Dakota, they have moved up, but Denver has games in hand. So whoever, if you like the Fighting Sioux's chance to win the league, text us a C. Here's a look at Carmen going to the net, Doug.
Yeah.
I don't even think he touched the goalie. I thought he got ice. I thought he slapped the stick in front of the goaltender. Oh, no, it was across the hands.
He got the minor coming. That's legitimate.
He got it across the hands, no doubt about it.
And the boys, I like the way Adam called that because he let the Sioux come in and do a little justice, move the Minnesota guy up, did the slashing, but didn't commit himself.
Slashing penalty to Carmen. And Getaway gets the rough. 5 seconds left.
Well, I miscalled that, Frank. At first, they didn't have that penalty up there.
All right. Gophers will be happy, I think, mostly the way this period went their way in a 1-1 game. Here's our intermission lineup. Hockey Day, Minnesota will be coming fast. We'll fill you in on the details. Kevin will talk with the big man, Joe Finley. Kevin, get a box. We'll need to stand on something. First period stats and highlights in a moment from Mariucci Arena. 20 minutes of play complete in this great weekend rivalry between Minnesota and North Dakota. It's Minnesota 1, North Dakota 1 on FSN North.
It is tied 1-1 after 1 back here at Mariucci Arena. I'm Marnie Gellner with the UND goal scorer, Joe Finley. Joe, being from Edina, being an important series like this, is it a little more exciting for you when you get to come and play in this building?
Yeah, you know, most definitely. We, you know, getting an opportunity to play in some family and friends that you don't get to do all year, it's definitely an exciting time.
Your goal even this game here, and you guys have had a little bit of struggle on the power play. What kinds of things are you going to do differently from the rest of the game to generate a little more offense?
Well, you know, we just got to look at shooting the puck when we get open looks and get some traffic to the net and see what happens.
Joe, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
That's Joe Finley, who has North Dakota's only goal in this game. We're tied 1-1 after 1. We'll be back with more from Mariucci Arena. An interview from Hockey Day. Lake of the Woods head coach will join us next.
Let's go right to our highlight package from the first period. First goal dug to Minnesota.
Well, Hopeville gets a great opportunity, and he reached with some of the green guys there. Now this is a swing and a miss with a good chance as the Gophers held on. Anderson, when this is the goal, that really was nice. Coppin on the shorthand and comes in and gets a little bit of a break as he hits the inside of the pipe. Now here comes Genoway, comes in, he'll curl up short, hit the big Finley on the weak side. He'll crank it. Thought it might have gone out somebody, but no, he gets a goal.
And the Jeep stats look like this with an 8-2 edge in shots on goal for Minnesota. It's a season low shots on goal for one period for the University of North Dakota, who has not scored in 3 power play chances. We'll start the period 4-on-4 right after this. Welcome back to Mariucci Arena. Marnie Gellner, Kevin Gorg at ice level, Doug Woog, I'm Frank Mazzocco upstairs. We drop the puck to start the second period. 4 skaters aside for another 90 seconds. Mike Carmen is off. And Duncan is off as well. Now here is Blake Wheeler getting it into the zone.
Oh, jeez.
Well, there was an interesting pass.
I'll tell you enough.
Hello.
Come in, Berlin. Oh.
Was that Wheeler?
No, it was not Wheeler. That was number 20, David Fisher.
Sorry, Blake. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus there. But
the level of casualness puts it at a
yeah, somebody needed to have credit for that pass. Icing here against North Dakota.
Quickly, scale of 1 to 10. That was a 10 in terms of lackadaisical.
Yeah, loose. John in St. Paul wants to know, can we expect to see the line of Lucia, Carmen, Flynn produce more points? Well, if it was any other year besides this one, I would say, yeah. But I'll say yes, probably. And you?
Well, they're going to have to. I mean, that's maybe if, for success of this team, that is their second line with a chance to score, other than Hopeful on the third, who may not be there forever in third line. So, yeah, they're going to have to do a little bit of something.
Now a little dart up the rink by Jake Mardo, and he gets it in. Here's Vandevelde.
Frank, I'm going to make a quick comment on it. Their line would be better. The line we were talking about would be better in a small rink. Flynn can get there, Lucia can get there, and they can kind of muscle, and Carmen can provide the quickness. So they're better, in my estimation, on the small rink. We've seen them in Denver last year. We saw them in, a couple of times last year where they were pretty good.
Here's a long shot on Lamoureux. That one by Kate Fairchild. Ryland Kipe over to get it. Kipe just a couple of weeks ago involved in a dandy of a brawl with Trevor Briss of Minnesota State. Good old gloves off, helmets off, and they let the boys go at it.
I thought you couldn't do that.
Well, you can, but you get penalized for it. You can avoid taxes, too, but you'll be penalized.
That's why. Oh, man. I kind of get that.
Okay. Well, the avoiding taxes, you've been there, have you?
Well, no.
I didn't think so.
I think they get enough of mine, though. I feel very confident.
Well, I hope you keep paying. We've got a huge debt to recover from. And we need your tax dollars.
I suppose you want me to give up my retirement, my Social Security, and put that in the pool.
Just pay your taxes. That'll be fine. That'll float a lot of us. Folks, join FSN North as we celebrate the contributions of local black athletes who have made a difference in sports in our community. Our heroes, an FSN North Black History Month special tomorrow at 10 p.m.
I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but I'm going to tell you that Harry Rodford's going to, Afro-American equipment manager down at the bench for the Gophers, is going to have a nice big article that Jim Strick is working on for this month.
Great.
I'm not sure what publication it is yet, but we'll get that to you. The great Harry Broadfoot.
Martins goes after the puck. Malone plugging things up for the Fighting Sioux on the far side. Malone, a Colorado Avalanche draft pick, and here's a deflection that came right to Howe. He couldn't get it on goal, however. And now Trupp at center ice. Now Malone, and back to Fratton, and they're misfiring on their passes badly here in this period.
Well, that's
not sure how good they were in the first, but not very good here in the second.
Well, we looked at the shot charts, and beholding, it was unbelievable how lackluster the shot attempts were by the Sioux. Really nothing that was really dangerous. A couple off the side, but Minnesota had like three good scoring chances. Not much going on in the offensive zones of either team.
Fighting Sioux doing pretty good against the WCHA schools from Minnesota with only one loss last season. That was the WCHA title game. I suppose they have a lot of border rivalries, do they not? Now that check thrown by Kozak, but he missed. Now he gets a shot off, but misses. Missed the check, missed the shot. Here's Peltier. Cross rink, it's redirected by Chorney at the line, and now Bina to Chorney. To Bina. And Duncan. And as he dumps it in, Watkins goes after it. Oshie spinning as they're in the midst of a change, and this shot misses the net.
He lost Carmen with a little bit of a move back there. Carmen just went for escape.
7 minutes and 49 seconds of the first period was the last shot on goal by the Fighting Sioux. This one comes in on Lamoureux, and he holds on. Well, the Fighting Sioux coming in on that 7-game winning streak, and here is how they have turned things around. Their first 2 months of play, they were a game below 500, but then in December and January, 7 games above 500. And they have a little bit of a tough. They got Denver to play, they got Minnesota Duluth to play at UMD, and they finished the season with 2 games on home ice against St. Cloud State. There are your shots total for the game, 10-2. Minnesota with only 2 shots here in the opening 4 minutes as well. We told you the Fighting Sioux had a season low, 2 shots in that period. The previous low was 3 shots on goal, which they were held to by the Gophers on the Friday night game that Minnesota lost at the Ralph Engelstad. So Minnesota really did have some domination up there. We get a stoppage here in the second. There's a Chris Vandevelde penalty for slashing.
He's left-handed. We got to pick him up here.
All right, I'm sorry, you're right. It's Matt Watkins. I'm not sure how I got Vandevelde out of that, but
well, Vandevelde was.
He might have been in conversation with.
He was earlier.
All right, Matt Watkins for the slash. Slashing the stick, apparently. Is that what you saw?
To be honest with you, that was not Watkins that we had on the tube there.
All right.
That was a right-handed player.
I think it's strike 3. Doug, you have to take at least 1 strike on this.
I will, because I can't clarify it.
All right.
I can say what wasn't, what I didn't see.
So I missed a player, we missed a replay, and you're not sure of anything, but so that's strike 3.
Minnesota has a power play, and it's a small P right now.
Other than that, we're having a great game, folks. Here's Gordon to flip it in.
Trying.
Yeah, we are. Knocked down by Peltier. And here's Wheeler. And Barabal. That's Mike Hopeful in the slot. Is that a new look, Doug?
He is there early in the first period. He gets a little muscle.
Oops, now Peltier will have to track it down. Hopeful in a bit of a pitch battle there with Zach Jones. And Hopeful will have a little height advantage. Not sure about strength. Jones in his junior year, a little more developed.
No, Hopeful, strong kid for his age. Only 18 years old, but he's put together pretty well.
No shots yet. How about Minnesota's power play in the last 6+ games? Only 1 for 21. A sizzling 4.8%.
That's hard to believe.
I'm sarcastic.
No, it's impossible.
Here's Tony Lucia. Onto the stick of Flynn. Now Carmen and Fairchild. Looking in front for the one-timer. And Lucia pushes it behind the net.
There's one of the reasons 4% huge is all you have to do is touch that thing and it's in the net.
Here's Fairchild. Across again, and Lucia was in a bad spot there, or at least 2 guys in front of him, and now they'll set it up again. Carmen, Watkins out of the box, 5 skaters aside, no shots on goal for Minnesota.
When you're a coach for the Golden Gophers, that irritates you because you set them up, tell them what to do, you got to finish. You got to be able to put the hole, or put the peg in the hole.
Mardo ices the puck. So Minnesota 0 for 2 on the power play tonight.
This is a nice puck possession here. It's Fairchild making that play. That was the second one of 2 that he'd made through there. He put the puck in there. She has got the puck behind the net, but you've got to put that puck in there. Fairchild made 2 goal-scoring passes there. No wonder he doesn't have any points in the last 8 games.
Brad Malone got it into the zone. Now he takes it away on an interception. Malone to the corner, to the point for Chorney. Bina at the line, holding it in, doing a little rain dance there. Now he throws it into the corner. And Weirs runs into Malone, and now Malone spun off the puck. Finally dug out of there by White, but he couldn't control it. Trupp took it away, so does Weirs. And in the sequence of errors and turnovers, it's finally back out to center. Bina. And into the corner by Malone. They'll go off on a 5-man change. Can the Gophers take advantage? Here's Pohl bringing it ahead. To the corner for Boostrom. Boostrom whacks it loose. Trupp goes after it. Kaufman is there to take it first. Kaufman putting a couple of moves on the corner. Now Mike Hopeful goes in after it with Getaway. Fires a shot that misses the net. Kaufman now on the near side. Martins couldn't get it out of the zone. Peltier screen shot, rebound! Oh, Lamoureux, a glove catch on the Mike Howe shot.
Well, I can't believe how fluttery that shot was. I don't want to be negative here, but Mikey Howe had point blank. That thing wasn't going more than 1 mile an hour. Puck is thrown down in. Now watch it. Look at that thing hardly got to the net. Lamoureux, I think his timing was wrong. That was got a rainbow to it. It was only 8 feet. It was going to go wide of the net to begin with. But you got to, that's the woes. That was wide, and it was soft. That was a Sharman shot.
Well, we talked a little bit about it last weekend, Doug, at Madison, particularly in the Friday night game, where it looked like Minnesota was putting shots that would only reach as far as the goaltender. They weren't trying to get to the back of the net. Not that you have to, but you do have to get it past the goaltender.
Got to get it over the red so you can see White.
Wrapped loose at center ice. Here's Finley to throw it in. Goals in this game by Evan Kaufman, shorthanded, and Joe Finley. A long blast from the point. Tied at 1. Oshie. Finley. Finley following up. Nice coverage in front by Wheeler.
You realize that Finley's got half the shots?
That was the third. Well, you'll have, what, 2/3 of them, right? 3 shots on goal for the Fighting Sioux. Wheeler down the middle. Off the arm of Lamoureux. Icing potential here.
Good shot by Wheeler. Good save by Lamoureux.
One of the best houses of the year at Mariucci Arena. We're tied at 1. I gave you a wacky stat earlier. This stat is out of whack. Defenseman R.J. Anderson, 4 goals. Jay Barabal led the team in scoring last year. This year, 3. It's out of whack.
It's out of whack. I was just thinking before that came up on the screen. When's the last time that Jay had scored? And then all of a sudden the topic got on there. But I'm going to go back and see if we can find out. Oh, nice read here.
Martin's tripped up at center ice. There'll be a penalty on Boostrom, I think, or make it Bickle. Arstead. If you look at the replay here, Doug, they have calculated 20 between the equivalent of a period of hockey. Can you imagine being, if that was a single 20 minutes?
No,
there would be holy heck to pay.
That locker room would be a little alive. Stu Bickle caught the Sioux player cutting back across, put the stick out, pulled the trip. Power play for the Sioux.
One of your key stats, our McDonald game plan, Doug, tonight coming in was that the Gophers must score on the power play. The Fighting Sioux, now going to their 4th power play of the game, still don't have a power play shot on goal. I would change that game plan around a little bit to North Dakota must score on the power play because they're certainly getting their chances.
Well, that's a good point. I just assumed they would do their share.
Bina throws it down low and a goal mouth pass batted out of the air. How about that save by Kangas? And Oshie, all he can do is turn and look to the sky. Can't believe it. What a play by Kangas.
Well, that puck trickled through, but it wasn't seen by Adams, so he blew the whistle. It slipped to the back of the net, I think.
Oh, it is laying there, isn't it?
Oh, he was laying right back by the curtain back there, which is the netting. That was Vanderbilt there. I watched this thing come trickling through.
Oh, my. Are they going to review?
Well, absolutely, it was a goal, but depends whether the whistle blew or not.
Yeah, when did the whistle blow? Oh, boy. He knocks it out of the air. It's below the crossbar, so it's a legal hit, a legal shot.
Vanderbilt comes across.
You can tell by his look when he looks at the referee that the whistle had already gone. Wow. Now we'll give you the referee's view here from overhead. The save, it's loose, and the tap puts it in. But the whistle went. Little lobbying there by somebody who paid premium dollars for that front row seat. All right, give it to you in real time, and you watch the whistle. You've seen when the tap comes. Here we go. That puck was on the line when the whistle went.
On the line or behind the line?
No, on the line, because he didn't go behind the line until the tap.
No goal.
No goal. All right. Now he'll give his explanation as to why. We don't think that they have the advantage of audio on the official referee's replay.
Ah, that's a good question. That's when we have to find out. I honestly thought that puck was in the back of the net before I heard the whistle, but
No, I disagree.
Yeah,
I think it was right on the line when the whistle went.
Okay.
Kevin, Gord, did you hear Don Adam talking to Dave Haxtell?
Yeah, the big question down here by both sets of coaches was why the replay with the whistle issue. He wanted to see the initial shot and see if he missed what he thought he had seen, which is Kangas had possible possession of that puck. Once he saw that the puck initially did not go in, it was a no goal and an easy call to make. And the North Dakota coaches felt pretty good about the explanation.
And I do too. I think it was a good explanation on his part. I think what he was saying is that maybe he blew that whistle when that puck was already in. And based on what he saw, he decided, nope. All right, so we remain 1-1.
That's the way this game is going. That's a huge decision.
Here's a huge chance, and Kangas, a brilliant save on Trupp in close.
Trupp got that puck off fast. Nice pass going in. Best chance, best save of the night. Young guys.
Well, he's made 2 here in the span of about 30 seconds, Doug.
That's all. She's making the Deacon dive there.
Well, he just fronts the shooter. Took it right away from Evan Trupp.
Stayed big, didn't go down. Little 5-hole experience there, but that was it. The rest of the upper part, he did not go down to his knees to leave the upper part open.
Kozak pulls this puck back so cleanly, he beat Finley back at the left point.
Sioux, after half a game of 6 shots on goal, picked up 4 fast ones here in the last 3 minutes.
Look out. Still 15 seconds, a little more than that on the penalty to Stu Bickle.
You know, the other part that's happened here, Minnesota, the first part of the first period, we're playing nice hockey, pretty good control. Then they get penalty. Now they've lost a rhythm of offense again. So they've generated almost no threats. Once they started getting penalties, not saying good or bad penalties, but once they started getting them, they had a kill and they went in. They're not as quick, not as crisp, not as good as they were.
Great centering pass by Genoway. It goes all the way through. Fratton was in the crease or near the crease, and maybe it came loose, so that's why the whistle goes. Our CHS trivia question for tonight. What is the North Dakota school record for consecutive wins? They're at 7 now. Well, would the Hercus Circus have done it in 87?
Well, you got to kind of probably, was that a one-season thing or an overlap? Because it, you know,
I'll be happy just to get close to the number.
Well, you're looking at a string of, well, yeah, there's a, I just think that's an issue because you're going to finish off one year and win a national championship, and you're going to start another year and have a pretty good run. That's my guess, but I can't tell you the year.
I think you're brilliant.
Or vice versa that would be
what would the vice versa that be? Here's a stick save.
Or maybe just have a, you know, like a 15-game winning streak or 18-game winning streak and finish it, then start out with one the next year. Or, you know, but I think it's got to take two seasons.
I can't wait for the answer, but unfortunately we have to take a break right now. Well, back in a moment.
Welcome back. Tie game. We're joined by Gophers assistant Mike Genzel. Pace of play has to favor your team style right now with low shots, low scoring.
Well, obviously, we haven't let their offense get going right now, but I'd like to see our forwards push the tempo here a little bit more and get on their defense and create some turnovers and shorten up the rink a little bit. We're letting them have too much possession on our side of the red line.
Thanks for your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
You're welcome.
Nice, Mike Genzel, up to you.
Another nice save there by Kangas. Kevin, thank you very much. I see Mike Genzel has most of his voice back, as do I. They were both pretty raspy in Duluth a couple weeks ago. All right, what's the North Dakota school record for consecutive wins? The CHS trivia question for tonight. Doug says 15. Well, you were right on. Luger.
Oh, baby!
And 1, but it was way before Hercus Circus.
Yeah, that's probably, oh yeah, that's definitely probably Kerry Eads' time.
Playing. Yeah. Centering pass for Mike Carmen comes all the way through. And I think you and Mike Genzel are on the same page about getting the offense into some kind of syncopation here.
Oh, I like that word.
Thank you. I paid $0.25 for it online today.
you got your money's worth.
Lucia to bring it in with Flynn. Shooting, it's off the glove of Lamoureux. Oshie had a little problem with it as Carmen knocked it away. And a near steal by Lucia, but Duncan. And these guys don't come up the rink like they used to either.
No, they're not darting and jumping in the holes, cutting across 45-degree angles, making easy outlets. I mean, it wasn't even as sharp when I saw them play in North Dakota. Not those. No,
there's
that
a
was
point
a nice
blank
play.
You know what? They're getting their chances now. They're getting 3 for a quarter on these, as they rolled up their shot total now to 8 in this period, and the Gophers have barely taken any. And they're shutting Wheeler down right there as he was muscled down to the rink by the freshman.
Join us for Hockey Day, which is 1 week from tomorrow. Kevin Gorg will be in Baudette Bay, and I will be at the XL Energy Center, part of our day-long coverage. Right now, we're at Mariucci Arena, where we're tied after 2 periods, and we have text questions to answer right now. The first one comes from Grand Forks. Rich is watching, and Rich sends his text in. Do you think the Gophers could have won 7 in a row if they had the same schedule as the Fighting Sioux, who just won 7 in a row?
Well, to answer Rich's question, I think it's possible the Gophers certainly could have beaten the teams that were mentioned in that streak. However, at the rate they're scoring goals, it may not have been a very likely scenario.
The teams were Minnesota State Mankato, Michigan Tech, and Alaska Anchorage. That's the 7-game winning streak, part of the 7-game winning streak for North Dakota. From Charlie in Chanhassen, or Chanhappenen, as I like to call it, where I used to live. What aspect of the game do the Golden Gophers have to focus on to beat the Sioux tonight?
They're trying to be too pretty. They're trying to make too many cross-ice passes. North Dakota's far too disciplined without the puck for that. They need to get the puck over the red line, dump it in. They need to get physical with their smaller defensemen. Other than Finley, these are defensemen the Gopher forwards should be able to push around a little bit.
From Chrissy in Minnetonka, how has North Dakota been able to win in this building? And I'll follow that up by saying North Dakota's had a pretty solid even 10 years in this building, more than what you would expect. Has Mariucci kind of lost some of its intimidation?
Well, a couple of factors. First of all, it's an older crowd here. Second of all, what have you done for me lately? These are Minnesota hockey fans. They know the game, and they want more. It's not just a crowd that's going to show up and cheer. And the other factor is a little more atmosphere, closer fans to the ice. At the old Mariucci, a much nicer facility now, no doubt about it, but it takes some of those sound waves and that hostile environment feel of it away from the rink.
We have a goalie question from Tim in Mankato. How would you compare the styles between Lamoureux and Kangas?
About as opposite as it gets. One guy's a riverboat gambler. Lamoureux's small, he's quick, a little more flamboyant. Kangas bigger, more sturdy, likes to wait and make his move after he sees the puck. They're both very, very effective. I think two of the best 3 or 4 goalies in the WCHA, but complete opposites when it comes to style.
Which one's more like Kevin Gorg?
Definitely Lamoureux. A little flaky, flopping around. That's my kind of hockey.
A little flaky. Tied at 1 after 2. We'll send it back upstairs to Doug and Frank after we come back on FSN North.
FSN North.
Welcome back to Mariucci Arena. Our second intermission continues. No scoring in that second period. And not because there was no scoring, but because they played well. I think the 2 goaltenders were the stars of the period.
Yeah, they made the saves they had to make. It wasn't a lot of action, but when it happened kind of quickly, and they had to be ready.
All right, we'll take you through a highlight sequence here, including a no-goal call.
This is the one that Ozzy eventually bats in, but the whistle blows before it goes in the line on the backside. And Duncan was going to pop it in, but it was real no-goal by Adams, and nobody really had too much to complain about. Here's a great chance by Howell, but this kind of typical and indicative, not much of an effort, not much zing on that puck, and Lamoureux made it the easy save look a little tough. Big save by Kangas, and Trupp came in, fired one upside, he made a big save.
Chrysler stats after 2 periods. The Gophers had a lopsided edge of shots in the first period. The same is true for North Dakota in the second period. Scoring chances are now even. The Fighting Sioux take their 5th power play to the second period for about 96 seconds. Most of the other stats, except for the giveaways, are even in this one. A 1-1 game, 20 minutes left in regulation. Back in a moment.
The third period here at Mariucci Arena. I'm with assistant coach Mike Gensel. And coach, this game after 2 periods has really evened itself out. What do you see being the difference maker in the third?
Well, I think our intensity level's got to raise a little bit more. We got to pressure the puck a little bit more and create some turnovers and do a little bit more on the offensive end right now. And until we do, it's going to be a struggle. We got to kill this penalty to start the period, though.
Thanks a lot, coach.
You're welcome.
Gophers are looking for a third period goal. Frank and Doug?
Marty Geller, thank you very much. Kevin Gorg also at ice level. Doug Woog, I'm Frank Mazzacco. We are upstairs, and Mike Gensel having a very similar message to the one that he had with about 8 minutes left to go in that period and get that offense going.
Big penalty kill for the Gofs.
Yep.
Flynn and Carmen will be at the upside. Beltier and Fisher will be at the D. Carmen and Flynn have been pretty hard to find so far.
Doug, I got to take care of some important business to all of our viewers. We pass on our apologies for losing our transmission. Everything cleared away and fixed up in a permanent nature, so you'll have us the rest of the night. Our apologies again for losing it, but I learned something new tonight, is that before our folks at home can watch this show, our signal has to go to Houston and come back. So I didn't know we were going that far around the globe with
road trip, huh?
But we're all set, and again, our apologies. Here's Getaway getting it ahead, a little left side pass for Duncan. Fighting Sioux on their 5th power play. Previous 4, they only had 3 shots on goal. Here's Dave Fisher getting the puck. Barely got it to the line and not out of the zone. Duncan Chorney down low. Look out, they're hot here on this power play, and that one hit the outside of the net. Not sure if Kangas had it covered or not.
Well, Fisher got casual with the release, getting out of the zone. Chorney picked it off on a great play, diving. And then one good opportunity followed.
Now from center ice, it is thrown in by freshman from Edmonton, Matt Fratton. Bouncing puck comes to Evan Kaufman, who has Minnesota's only goal. It was a shorthanded goal.
Well, it seems like a long time ago, too, Frank.
It was at 3:16 of the first period. Boy, in those opening 10 minutes, Minnesota seemed like so much in control. So much of their offense was working well. And here in a scramble, Kangas makes another great save. A turnaround blast, and that one was blocked by Bickle. And another shot blocked by Kangas. And in the fire drill, it's not out of the zone. Penalty is over. Gordon out of the box.
Kangas.
2-on-2. Lucia Gordon. And Lamoureux makes the save.
Gordon was right. He was trying to go upstairs. Lamoureux did stay up.
Here's Howe. Well, I referenced the fact that the two goaltenders and Anderson gets bowled over by Radke, but puck is still in the zone and a goal by Gordon. There's no red light. Oh, I'll swear that was in. Doug?
It looked like it, but it came straight out though, Frank.
Icing. And they're going to go look right away, I think. Boy, I thought that was in.
Well, it came back out fast, but I think it was a pipe. The way the angle of puck came back.
Pipe.
Sometimes you.
Oh,
you
I
see.
see.
Things. Yeah.
The illusion from our angle here looked like it was coming out of the back of the net.
It sure did.
Wow. Well, kudos to the goal judge. No itchy finger down there. Fighting Sioux, meanwhile, we're all over Alex Kangas.
This gets a little heavy in here. Trupp is in there. Comes through. Bingle stops. Kozik. Some more action yet to follow. Guys are diving. They got the right side of the wall. Got Minnesota guys between the goalie and the shooters, and that's what helped out there. Well, maybe this third period, Frank, is what we were hoping for, and that's a fast, competitive, edgy game.
If that happens, it'll be a little bit of an anomaly for the Golden Gophers, who have not been good in third periods this year. Much better in first periods. Now Alex Kangas is there to cover up. Not only was he good in last sequence, but Alex Kangas in the second period, Doug,
pretty good.
Solid.
That was on Trupp there. Oshie gets a puck over here to Trupp. That's the same play. Vanderbilt is number 29. He's coming out of the corner.
These are all inside the hash mark.
Yeah, these are quality saves. Harto there. That was a tough little bouncer.
And back to live action here early in the third. A chase for the puck, and Dave Fisher is there to get it first. Fisher now to bear ball at center, and he'll whip it into the North Dakota end. Chorney, first man of the puck. The Hastings native, whose dad Mark played for the Fighting Sioux. Mark Chorney.
I think Taylor's had a nice game today. I thought he was not what I thought he was going to be up in North Dakota. Sometimes, you know,
Ooh, Wheeler got tripped up at center ice. That was a stick between the legs that didn't get called.
There's a lot of psychology involved. You know, you think you're going to come back and have a great year. Sometimes you don't quite keep the intensity up. Fall back a little bit, get a little casual, just a little bit less than cost you.
Gordon puts it in the crease, and it was sticked away at the last second by one of the D.
That was Chorney right there, Frank.
Now Boostrom knocks Duncan off the puck. Then Bina stops Boostrom, but not for long. To the point for Weirs. For a screenshot, blocked by Duncan, and then without a stick, he swats it out of the zone.
Boostrom was strong in the corner. He was bulling his way down there.
Nice play by Cole to stay onside. The shot off Chorney skate and into the corner. Kaufman lays it into the corner. It'll be picked up now by Jones.
Minnesota's fourth line with Paul Kaufman and Boostrom giving a little pressure.
Icing at the exact 4-minute mark of period 3. 1-1 Minnesota, North Dakota.
The smartest time to buy a new car is right now, because winter has a way of revealing.
Country Insurance and Financial Services, who's hot? You're looking at him, TJ Oshie, a career-long 8-game point streak. He's got 11 points in those 8 games, 4 goals, 7 assists. What's a little bit interesting, before that streak began, when Minnesota was up at the Ralph Engelstad in Grand Forks, Oshie on the 2-game weekend just had 1 goal, 1 assist. Thought he had a rather quiet weekend. I did. A blast from the point, ripples the outside of the net.
Well, Minnesota's defense did not pick up people in front. That was a wide open tip there that was missed.
It was a Che Genoway shot. Here he is with a block at the right point. Now a takeaway by Lucia. Racing ahead, being checked from behind. What a play by Genoway. He is quick. Watkins. An interception by Lucia. This is the line that Minnesota fans are most hopeful about. And now, as I say that, they're starting to make some changes. So the Carmen unit goes off. Here comes Flynn to bring it in. And Finley pushes him and the puck. He and the puck in the corner. Trupp. Finley throws it out of the zone. Bickle dumping it back in. Lamoureux to Finley. Out to center ice and Trupp. Shut down by Howe. Got it in the zone, however. White chips it out.
Fans recognizing White's good effort coming back.
Bickle chased by Malone. Now Fairchild chased by Trupp. Trupp's been all over the ice tonight.
Yes, he has. That number 19, he's not a real big guy.
No, he's a small guy, Doug, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
5'10",
I think
and 155 officially anyway.
Yeah, I think that's the 2-inch gap there. I think about 5'8" might be right.
Boy, Mardo, the defenseman, streaking up ice, and then the Radke shot misses everything. White with a check to slow up Radke. Forced out of the zone by Hoeffel. 1-on-5 at the line.
Boy, strong, Hoeffel. Strong.
Martins met by Boostrom. Now here's Pohl trying to knock it loose.
Minnesota's 4th line getting a chance to come right back here.
Kaufman to the side of the net. Chorney takes it away. Pinned up, they get it to Martins. It's pushed away from him, but out to center ice. Zajac dumping it into the Minnesota end. Fisher bothered by Radke. Zajac behind the net. A one-timer by Chorney and a stick save by Kangas. And he plays it out of the ring. Time for a Dodge game break. We remind you that these two fierce rivals will face off again tomorrow night. All the action here on FSN North, and our coverage begins at 6:30 with Quest Gophers Live. Don't miss the last regular season meeting between the Sioux and the Gophers. Oshie on the face-off spot. Kozak pushes it behind the net. Duncan. Shot it behind the net. Wheeler digs it off the rail. Nurses it to Gordon. And he has to dump it in past Genoway. Well, this D-corps might be small, but they're efficient. They're not doing a physical damage, but they are.
But Genoway certainly has been noticeable offensively. Chorney's been pretty solid. Zach Jones, I don't think he's even seen the rink.
A couple times he and Jake Mardo, they relying mostly on those top 4 guys. Chorney, Finley, Genoway, Bina.
Whoa!
And what a slick move by Oshie. Here's Kozak back to Oshie. To Kozak, can they finish? No! Kanga slams the door. And Duncan wants a penalty shot.
Yes, he does. He thinks that number 17 Wheeler put his hands over, but well, I tell you, what a move by Oshie. Come out, he toes. This is what you call toeing that puck. Oh, he waltzes right by Gordon. Nice little give and go here. Kozak and Oshie. Right side, Duncan's coming in from the right side. He's number 16.
Yeah, Wheeler did go down with his glove hand, but I think he pushed it into Kangas.
They're not going to call that when he pushes it in. It's right.
You just cannot close your hand on it. Here's a quick shot, a deflection, and a toe save by Kangas.
You know, Kangas, if you put all of his saves together, he's had a pretty good reel. Reel full of good ones, Frank. Second period around the net,
Take a look at the shots this period. You're going to see a lopsided edge once again. 10 Fighting Sioux shots on goal. He stopped all 10 of them. Only one for Minnesota. We're at 7 minutes and 41 seconds. He's got a good streak going in this game, Doug, and remind everybody that in the last 9 coming in, he only has 1 loss.
Yeah, and he said last week he gave up, the last 2 weekends, gave him six goals, 3 a night if you want to average them out against on the road. He's given up, what, 3, no more than 3 anytime during the year.
During the year, right?
It shows some consistency, but he's made some pretty good saves because the traffic's getting a little heavy down there. It's rush hour.
Bina and Weirs at center ice.
Minnesota's in the wait, chase mode. In other words, they let the green make the play, then they get up on it. They're not being proactive.
Out to center, just out of the reach of Matt Watkins. And with the whistle, we take a break here. 1-1, all the goals in the first period. We told you about Kanga's only 1 loss in the last 9. If you compress that to the last 7 games, his numbers get even better. At a 1.8 goals against average and a 933, those numbers are just about identical to Philippe Lamoureux, who's in the top 5 in those 2 categories nationally. So those are good national stature numbers. And out at center ice, Jones shoots it in.
The other part you can look at, you're talking about league games mostly, you know, when you're at this time of the year.
Here's Trupp turning and shooting, and a glove catch by Kangas, making it look easy. We asked Don Lucia a little bit ago, has Alex Kangas won the starting job?
He's won it today. You know, whether that is on Saturday night or next week remains to be seen. I think we got to get Jeff back in there soon. Whether it's this weekend or not, I don't know.
That Jeff being Jeff Frazee, who as a junior was the odds-on favorite to be the main man, at least the leader, but he has struggled. Frazee with only 1 win in his last 6. Boostrom with the steal, a deke, a backhand, and Lamoureux covers up, and the goalies are making the biggest statements in this game. Those numbers for Jeff Frazee spelled out for you a little bit. Here are his last 6 games. A win, 4 losses, no ties. There was 1 no decision in those last 6 when he was pulled in favor of Kangas. 3.6 goals against average. That's a little inflated, and the save percentage is nothing to brag about at all.
No, you know, and I was going to say before the rush there is that when you take statistics, I know Coach Lucia does. He likes to take the conference statistics. I like to take them also because you get a truer picture of how how things are relative. And so all of Kangas's numbers here, the 7 last games, have been with conference teams. So it gives you a pretty good picture how steady and how consistently good he's been.
To center ice and Radke. And then it is dumped by Bickle all the way down the rink, and this will turn into an icing as we approach the halfway point of this period. And that is, of course, it gives you an even apples-to-apples comparison when you look at the conference standing. The opposite side of that is that you then tend to diss your non-conference opponents. That's a bit of an issue. And this year with the WCHA having so many teams that are just floating around 500 and struggling for home ice, there may not be as drastic a difference between this conference and the rest of the world, with 1 notable exception statistically. Of the top 10 strongest schedules in the country, 9 of those teams are from the WCHA.
Listen, I didn't know that. That's an enormously important.
That's an enormous number. 9 of the top 10 strength of schedules, and this call, according to the RPI published by U.S. College Hockey Online, 9 of the top 10 toughest schedules are WCHA schools. And here's Alex Kangas making a great save look easy. Very cool down there.
Come on.
You got a penalty?
Yeah, he's going to give Peltier one for high sticking. Both he and Oshie were going chin to chin, nose to nose. That was a little protect the star type situation there. If you believe in that, watch this closely. Peltier's going to come in from the left.
There's a slash.
Yeah, but the 2 guys in combatants are right there, 5 and 7. Both of them got their sticks up around their shoulders.
They should both go.
Either that or nobody. I'd go for nobody.
Ouch.
Well, I was talking more about that relative strength. Coach Sia feels that now, without getting certain leagues have one or two good teams in the bottom two-thirds are pretty beatable by everybody by anybody in the WCHA. So he thinks it may be tough, may not be favored this year because of how the decisions have been made.
Well, I'll say that you know, the WCHA, Doug, might have two tough-to-beat teams, and I'll say the next 8 are all beatable.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, maybe. I
mean, I don't think there's that great disparity between leagues this year.
I tend to agree with that.
All right, let's concentrate on this very critical power play. I think it's critical one here for the Fighting Sioux because it's their 6th power play chance, and here's Alex Kangas again. Steady Eddie.
Well, Kolchak and Duncan can both shoot the puck. There's absolutely no question about it. Silk and Watkins, they're coming off. Here's Jay Danaway, and he's just been so good tonight, been so visible. And the guy that's kept the Gophers in here is the big goaltender, number 33, Alex Kangas. He has been good.
Draw Vandevelde back to the line for Bina. Chorney. Critical kill for Minnesota. Bina across to Duncan. Down low, Vandevelde. Right down the middle for Duncan. It gets deflected high, and Kangas has no problems with it.
Duncan liked to have that one over. He got the puck out in front of him, and he wasn't able to come through with his body. He's mostly a wrist shooter anyway, but watch it when he gets the puck. When he walks in here, he's got the stick in front of himself. The puck is in front. It's like bunting the ball. Can't get much power on it.
Wheeler on that faceoff. He lost 6 of 15 faceoffs in the first 2 periods.
Carmen was Minnesota's best faceoff guy.
They work it crisply and then down low until it fizzles. Vandevelde had a problem handling it. Oshie to Bina. Threw it away. Vandevelde behind the net. Duncan. Little more than a half minute of the power play. Vandevelde again. I don't know that they're being pushed to the outside. They're just going to the outside. And now it's dumped down the rink.
You know, the irony in this thing, wouldn't it be something if Minnesota won it on a power play?
He's far short-handed.
Well, yeah, maybe that's a better chance. But I just got that feeling they're going to get a power play here. It's going to be a little even up deal. They're going to win it on a power play.
Oshie bouncing one across just out of the reach of Duncan. Peltier out in a couple of seconds. Here's Finley, winding, fires, and it missed by less than a foot on the far side. Kaufman and Peltier, 2-on-1. Peltier, oh, the pass for Kaufman, and it's stopped by Finley.
Oh, it's Finley big.
In the air and down the rink, will there be icing here? Anderson hoping, and he gets the call. Just under 8 minutes to go, 3rd period, 1-1 game.
Still tied at 1 down here ringside with Gophers assistant John Hill. 2 shots for North Dakota the first half of the game, 23 cents. Other than a couple of, dare I say, questionable calls, what has changed in your team's game?
Well, I think that we've got to do a better job with the battle level. I don't think we're battling hard enough. And the other thing, too, is on faceoffs. I'm not sure how many we've won tonight, but it seems like we're losing an awful lot of them. So therefore, you start without possession. You're chasing the puck. They have possession. And I'm sure more than anything after the first period, their coaches probably got their attention. They have a lot of pride over there, and we need to ratchet it up. There's 7 minutes left. Alex has been solid again. We got to find a way to get that second goal.
Thanks for your time, and good luck here down the stretch.
Thank you.
All right, guys, up to you.
Kevin, those numbers that he was looking for, we only have them through 2 periods, so we don't have them for this half of the 3rd period. But North Dakota won 24 of 46, so it was 24-22 in faceoffs through 2 periods.
It looked that way. I had the same feeling, and then I'm glad I didn't say anything because I went over here. Carmen was best at 8-8. Wheeler was 6 out of 15. Not very good, but it wasn't as bad as I had thought as a team.
And up to date now, it's 33-28 faceoffs in favor of the Fighting Sioux. Nearly halfway through this period, a little more than that. We're going to show you how Minnesota is much better in the first period than in the third, pretty much opposites. The Gophers have outscored their opponents, Doug, your crayon if I may, by 26-14 in the first period. But look at the lopsided margin there of being outscored by a 2-1 margin in the third. And the opponent goaltender save percentage at 84.4 is a very telling statistic.
Minnesota's playing like a 1-2-2 here. It's playing like they're on the road with a lead. They're at home when it's tied. Got to get somebody on the puck, get down and support the puck, make some quick passes, get it going, guys.
Long shot gets deflected. Finley back at the line. A blast from the far point. Nearly pinballed into the open corner of the net. How disheartening would that have been? Kaufman hits the line. Lets it go! And a big rebound! Skipped through the crease. It was a Boostrom shot that skipped through the crease.
If he hits the net, might have a goal.
Now Anderson pries it loose. Hopeful. And now Trupp throws it across. Fratton crosses center and then drops it down the rink. Game here hanging on every shot. Flynn, Carmen, that shot and a nice block by Bina. Could just come down to who wants it more here in this final 6 minutes.
Frank, I think Denver's going to take, Sioux are going to take a penalty and Minnesota's going to get a power play and the place is going to go crazy.
Boy, that would be a late penalty. Here comes Watkins. 3-4 players bring it in. And the shot or pass goes through the crease harmlessly. A takeaway. It's Lucia and Lamoureux. Rebound. Oh, Lamoureux again. The second one, he got away with highway robbery.
Here's the penalty. Kuiper is going for 2. Whether it's justified or not, I'm not sure, but that second save by Lamoureux
was a robbery.
Yeah, daylight. Here's Lucia coming in. Bina's chasing him. He gets a decent shot, not too much, but here comes Carmen in. Here's Lucia's the first one.
I'm not sure what Kuip held. Kuip number 17 comes in from the left.
Frank, I think I set the stage as it would be a questionable call.
The marble theory, and it came into play.
And
here's Fraser down the middle. Peltier. Now Barabal. Peltier. Hopeful. Wheeler is up front, and he broke his stick, and he'll have to go back. That stick might have been slashed out of his hands, too. Or maybe as he stumbled and fell, it snapped when he put pressure on it. All right, he's got a new one anyway. Peltier. Fisher. 4th power play for Minnesota. Barabal. Oh, to Wheeler, and he wasn't ready for it. Can he take it away from Genoway? No. And they throw it down the rink. Minnesota changing their power play unit. R.J. Anderson from behind the net. Fairchild brings it in, shoots it around. It's wrapped loose. Anderson looking for Flynn.
Got to get it off the rail.
Anderson. Fairchild fakes the shot, and he's turned aside on the play by Zajac. Kaufman, now quickly Anderson. To the corner, Carmen. Anderson. Flynn is in the slot. Oh, how'd that happen? I was looking at Flynn in the slot. Trupp took it right away from him.
Right. Anderson made a pirouette and left the puck at the blue line.
Well, this is a less than inspiring power play, too. We've had him on both ends, and now icing with the power play. My.
There are a few Sioux fans in the building.
3.5 minutes to go, roughly, in regulation play. Our Menards game reset in a 1-1 game. Finley with the 3rd goal of the season tied this one. The shots on goal at this point, 28-21 in favor of North Dakota after an early lopsided edge to Minnesota. The Minnesota goal early in the game by Evan Kaufman, and it was shorthanded.
Early in that power play, Minnesota had their first unit out there. It would have been when Barabal lost the puck at the offensive blue line. He walked out. He should have got the pass from Peltier and started in the net. He's lost his confidence and afraid to go to the net and make the play. He's not in rhythm with himself.
Mike Hopeful does a 360 in the face-off circle and comes away with the puck. Now Howe dumping it in. Hopeful and Vandevelde to the corner. Hopeful wrapping his stick, maybe thinking he would get a pass, and he nearly did. Pickle pries it loose. And the penalty is over. 5 skaters aside. Question is, will that be the last penalty of the game? Coming up on 3 minutes left, it's 1-1.
I'm going to say, Frank, that'll be the last penalty.
Vandevelde, Howe got a piece of it. Little pick by Hopeful. Howe puts it in front. To whom, I don't know. Weirs dumps it behind the net. Marto after it. Marto, and then they get it out of the zone with a little help from Kite. Icing. And with the stoppage, we take a break. Minnesota 1, North Dakota 1.
We're down about 4 shifts apiece. These guys can take about 45-second shifts. Big draw here. Wheeler's about 500. Oshie, same way.
Our Toyota post-game wrap will be coming your way immediately after the game. And of course, we will have a recap of this one and show you Minnesota catching a few breaks in this one. Particularly on that early goal, and then an on goal. And of course, player reaction from ice level. Bear ball in the corner. Here's Fisher, screen shot. I don't think Lamoureux saw it. They'll try to stuff it in, and for bear ball, it won't go. Gordon.
Tentative, both teams.
A deflection by Wheeler, and Lamoureux is there to cover up the slow-moving puck.
That's the 45 seconds of this line. I'll see if, I would think they're going to make a switch here. Yes, they are. Poor Jay Barabal, it just isn't going to go for him. Here's Big Fish with a shot from the point. Barabal makes a right play, tries to circle the wagon. Look at a nice job the goaltender does. Gets a skate over to the pipe. Lamoureux technically doing a good job.
The Carmen line out. Third period has been this line's best period, but it's a rather short yardstick. Watkins dumps it in. Kite played it behind the net. Carmen took it away, then lost it. They center it. High shot by Kite. There was the game right there, and he missed the open net.
Well, Carmen turned it over. That was okay, but then he pounded down there and didn't get up.
Lucia runs into a check, and this puck is off the glass and then out of play.
Well, after you have that good a chance, you think, well, that might have been my turn. Minnesota will get an opportunity to be, I think they're going to be in the offensive zone, so they dodged that bullet. Wow. Here's a turnover by Carmen, but he doesn't get back up. He just sits there. I mean, you're going to make mistakes.
Well, that net wasn't as open as I thought. There was a Bickle block in front, and so it would be maybe a quarter of the net. Scoring chances now virtually even in this one.
But scoring chances, here's point blank. You got to count that as a great double A. It's a triple A egg, you know, it's a big one.
And that's one reason why your scoring chances can sometimes outnumber your shots on goal. They miss.
They miss. I'm going to
icing here.
Genoway has got my vote for the best player in the ring tonight. And then the goalie Kangas will tie it with him.
Well, that's interesting. All right, here's Genoway shooting, and the deflection, and it's off the body and into the corner. Under a minute to go. Howe playing it into the North Dakota end. Howe after it once more. And Zajac behind his own net. Legs look heavy. It's out to center, and now Howe gave it right away to Martins. And Kangas has to play the puck. 30 seconds ago, Fighting Sioux are changing. Wheeler at the line, stripped of the puck.
First lines against each other. Wheeler and OJ.
Oh, near giveaway there by Peltier. Fisher.
Oh, no.
Flo's gone to the diner again. A breakup ice for Martin, moving in. It's behind Kangas, and then cleared away before Duncan can get to it. And we go to overtime.
And Fisher goes laterally across. Come up the rink, get pressured up into the zone. 14 seconds left. Whoa! And that put Peltier in a tough spot. It wasn't Peltier so much as it was the pass he got late from Fisher. Now that puck just trails around. You can put your partner in position too where it's going to be either positive or negative. I think right now Mariucci is talking about negativity.
He's a little burned down there. All right, to give you our game summary, we go to the first period. This would be a shorthanded opportunity. And a strong move to the net. Nice backhand by Evan Kaufman off the post and then in. And then a short while later we go to the other end. And a blast from the blue line by Joe Finley. Nothing but net there. Fighting Sioux had a no goal here. Not much controversy. The whistle goes before it crosses the line. Laid a couple of games here tonight. And then in the third period, a goal post by Minnesota, which we thought went in. I thought went in, but not. In a 1-1 game, you get a lot of close ones like that.
Hey, if you watch the highlights, you think it was just a barn burner.
Well, up and down the rink, well, it hasn't been.
No, although the third period, Frank, was more like the game we'd expect. But I was saying before the end of the regulation that Genoway, to me, has been the most valuable player for the Sioux. He's been making plays, defending plays, holding the puck, breaking the puck out.
To chew on a thought here, was he more of a difference maker than Kangas?
Well, I said for Minnesota that I would add on Kangas. You know,
okay, so you didn't rank them 1, 2. You just picked one aside.
That's where
Is that
I was
what
going.
you did? Okay.
No. I was trying to give the opponent team the recognition.
We ask you to vote who you think will win the WCHA. How many people in Grand Forks do you think are watching right now? 78% of those voting chose the Fighting Sioux over both Colorado College and Denver.
Somebody should take a look at CC's schedule. They're almost home.
Yeah. Well,
all right, here we go. Get overtime.
And again, Wheeler and Oshie to face off.
And they're talking right now, the two of them.
Kozak, now apparently they dropped it unfairly.
Should we go back to, there we go, put our 2 seconds back.
Yeah, we'll start at 5 minutes even here. Good call, Doug. Kevin Gort, very quickly, what do you pick up from the benches here going into overtime?
Lucia emphatic wants the puck in deep. No more turnovers in the neutral zone, guys. He really stressed it.
Well, there was a turnover in their own end. Again, Fisher with the giveaway.
I think he got heated up a little bit with that Fisher to Peltier play.
Now here's Duncan shooting. Look out for the rebound. Kangas, 2 great saves. Kangas, 2 great saves. Peltier, long outlet pass. Got it only as far as the blue line. Look out, here they come again. Who wants it more? Oshie looking for Kozak, and he has stepped down, but barely for much. Here's Journey shooting. That one hit the boot of Peltier. And the Fighting Sioux want this one on the road badly in OT. Oshie the steal at center. He anticipated the pass, but couldn't control. Gordon fakes the shot, then lost it. He and Finley to the corner.
Both these lines are dead tired.
Early going of sudden death overtime. Watkins gets it to Van de Velde. Lucia takes 2 players out, slows up the rush. Watkins still burrowing his way into the corner. Watkins gets the puck. Watkins to Finley. And he dumps it for Van de Velde. He and Bickle. Over to Watkins now. And the opening minute and a half of this period, style points go to the Fighting Sioux. Long blast by Genoway. Kangas a save. And here's Lucia, who lugs it to the line, and they're offside. Fairchild broke too soon. The defenseman was offside.
Frank, you got it right on the button. The play has been Minnesota in their end. Kangas making saves. Got 2 good saves in that one flurry with Oshie's line. Then the backhander hit the outside of the pipe. But Kangas definitely has to be right in there. Here's a couple of big ones. Right here, here's one that goes out the pipe on the backhand. Right before that, a couple quick ones. The Sioux looked like looked like a much better team than they looked the first period. Just quicker.
The Sioux team we expected from the beginning.
Yes, it was. And the Gophers are battling, but they're just a step behind right now.
To the corner, and Mardo. Trupp tipped at center by Malone. Across the goal mouth.
This is an all-freshman line for the Nodak.
And now Hofo can't get it out past Bina. Kaufman takes a look. Martins. Oh, a diving goal! What a beautiful goal for the Fighting Sioux! I think it was Trupp who came from behind the net and bats this one out of the air. Overtime winner to North Dakota. Overtime loss of the year for the Golden Gophers, and there is no question. North Dakota wanted it more in the overtime.
Well, this is Martins here. He joined that line. He's a junior. He just jumped up with him. And that was just an all-out effort here by Trupp, who's been pretty doggone good.
Smacked it right out of the air off the inside of the right leg of Kangas. No faulting on my part here at Kangas. It's just that these guys in green wanted this puck in the net much more than the Gophers.
Now this
Dodge player of the game will be the game-winning goal scorer, Evan Trupp, at 2:23 of overtime on their 34th shot on goal.
Good choice, player of the game. Genoway certainly can be included, but I'll tell you, Trupp was every place. Dove out there and batted the puck. And Martins had taken Fratton's spot on that line for some reason, unless it was just a turnover of guys. But the pressure was applied by the Sioux. Kangas made almost every save possible. Looked solid, looked cool, but the Sioux.
Well, our Abra hit of the game will be this baseball-style bunt. This would even qualify in any game of pepper you could ever play.
You know, last year it was Blake Wheeler making the dramatic shot off the backhand to win the game. Here you have the Sioux laying out. This is what you call laying out to win the game. Dove, timing. I mean, he could probably do that 20 more times tonight and only make the one, which he already has.
In the third period and overtime, the Fighting Sioux outshot the Gophers 21-8. They outscore them in the overtime and win this one. Still plenty of Golden Gopher hockey coverage coming your way. For a preview of Quest Gophers live post-game show, here's Kevin Gord.
Thanks, guys. Well, another classic. This one goes to the visitors from North Dakota. The Trupp overtime winner breaks the hearts of the homestanding Gophers here. We'll get you ready for game two with sound from both locker rooms. We'll hear from the players that decided the hockey game. We'll also talk to Don Lucia, the head coach of the Golden Gophers, about the adjustments they need to make for tomorrow night. We'll have a demonstration on the ice. We'll answer more of your text questions. It's Quest Gophers Live. It starts next right here on FSN North.